What happens when the world's most controlled pop superstar sits down on late-night television and for once stops controlling the story? The lights inside Studio 6B glow warmer than usual, a soft amber washing over the stage as the band finishes the final note of the intro. Applause rolls like thunder, practiced, polite, until Jimmy Fallon's voice cuts through it. And tonight, we have someone who needs no introduction. The crowd erupts before he even says her name. Screams. Whistles. Hands clapping so hard they sting. Taylor Swift steps out from backstage with a smile that looks familiar, too familiar. The smile fans have seen 1,000 times on red carpets and award shows. Polished. Calm. Safe. But something is different. Her shoulders are tight. Her breath shallow. And when she hugs Jimmy, her laugh comes half a beat late. What happens when the masks finally slip? The narrator whispers into the silence between applause and music. What happens when the most analyzed woman in pop culture decides to tell the truth on live television? Before this goes any further, if you love moments when celebrities drop the script and reality crashes through the spotlight, subscribe to Talk Flair right now, hit that like button, and comment immediately if you've ever felt a moment like this coming before it exploded. Jimmy gestures toward the chair. It's so good to see you. You've been everywhere. Taylor nods, crossing her legs carefully. Yeah, that's one way to put it. The audience laughs. But the laugh fades faster than expected. Jimmy glances at his card, then back at her. This tour. The records. The headlines. Does it still feel real? Taylor opens her mouth to answer, and stops. She inhales. It feels heavy, she says. The room stills. Even the band seems to lean back. Jimmy blinks. Heavy. Taylor smiles again, but this time it doesn't reach her eyes. Everyone thinks success feels like floating. Sometimes it feels like standing on a stage that's on fire and smiling because that's your job. A murmur ripples through the crowd. Jimmy chuckles nervously. Well, that's not in the press release. Taylor looks at him. Really looks at him. No, it's not. For a split second, it feels like a joke. A tease. Then her fingers tighten around the armrest. I'm tired of pretending every era is just glitter and victory, she continues. Some of them are survival. The applause is hesitant. Confused. Jimmy shifts forward. Is this about the criticism? The pressure? Taylor's jaw tightens. It's about being told who you are by people who have never met you, and watching the world believe them. The tension creeps in quietly, like fog rolling under a door. Jimmy laughs again, softer this time. Okay, we're getting deep early. Taylor exhales. Yeah, I guess I am. And somewhere backstage, a producer freezes, hand hovering over a cue card that suddenly feels useless. The interview moves forward, but the air has changed. Jimmy tries to steer it back toward safer ground. Tour stories, funny moments, inside jokes, but Taylor's energy keeps pulling it somewhere else. You've been in the spotlight since you were a teenager, Jimmy says. Do you ever think about who you'd be if none of this happened? Taylor doesn't answer immediately. I think about her all the time, she says finally. She was quieter, less guarded. She trusted people more. The audience goes silent. She didn't know she'd have to build armor just to walk into a room. Jimmy nods slowly. Was there a moment when that changed? Taylor's eyes flick toward the crowd, then back to Jimmy. Her voice lowers. There were a lot of moments, she says. But the worst ones were when I realized silence doesn't protect you. It just gives other people space to tell your story for you. A beat. And sometimes they're cruel. The camera cuts to a wide shot. You can feel it now. The interview is slipping off its rails. Jimmy clears his throat. People assume fame means power. Taylor lets out a short, humorless laugh. Fame means visibility. Power is something you have to fight for. A woman in the front row wipes her eyes. I've been painted as calculated, Taylor continues. Manipulative. Fake. Too emotional. Not emotional enough. And I smiled through it because I was told that's what grace looks like. Her voice cracks, just slightly. But grace shouldn't require self-erasure. The applause is louder now. Not wild. Not celebratory. Supportive. Protective. Jimmy leans closer. You don't have to answer this, but do you feel misunderstood? Taylor swallows. Every day. She pauses, then adds, by people who think they know me because they know my songs. The band stays silent. No music to cushion the moment. And here's the truth, Taylor says, her words landing carefully, deliberately. I don't regret my career. I regret how long I believed I had to earn basic respect by being perfect. The crowd rises in a partial standing ovation. Jimmy smiles, but there's concern in his eyes. This feels like something you've been holding in. Taylor nods. I have. Because when women speak honestly, it's called complaining. When we stay quiet, it's called class. The applause explodes. Somewhere on social media, phones are already lighting up. Clips being cut. Quotes being typed. Headlines forming in real time. Taylor sits back, breathing hard now. And I'm done choosing silence just to be palatable. Jimmy glances at the camera, then back to her. You're breaking the internet right now. Taylor smiles faintly. Good. By the time the interview reaches its midpoint, it's no longer an interview. It's a confession, one broadcast live to millions. Jimmy asks softly, was there a moment recently where it all felt like too much? Taylor hesitates. This time, the pause stretches. Yes, she says. When I realized how much of my life people felt entitled to. The audience leans in as one. There's this idea that if you share your art, you owe access to your pain, your relationships, your mistakes. She shakes her head. But boundaries aren't betrayal. Jimmy nods slowly. That's powerful. Taylor looks directly into the camera now. I've been blamed for narratives I didn't create, she says, and praised for strength I didn't feel. Her voice trembles again. This time she doesn't hide it. I've cried on bathroom floors after shows where everyone said I looked unstoppable. A collective gasp sweeps through the room. And I kept thinking, if they knew this, would they still love me? Silence. Jimmy's voice is barely above a whisper. Would they? Taylor's eyes shine. I hope so. The audience stands fully now. Applause crashing like waves. Taylor wipes at her cheek, laughing through the emotion. Sorry. I didn't plan on this. Jimmy smiles gently. Sometimes the most honest moments aren't planned. She nods. That's the thing. I'm not here to promote anything tonight. I'm here because I wanted to tell the truth while I still recognize myself. The camera zooms in. The world holds its breath. And the truth is, I'm still figuring it out. And that should be okay. The applause doesn't stop. Jimmy lets it run longer than usual. He knows better than to interrupt this. Finally, he says, thank you for trusting us with this. Taylor exhales, visibly lighter. Thank you for letting me be human. By the time the credits roll, the fallout has already begun. Clips of the interview flood social media. Fans call it her bravest moment. Critics scramble to reframe years of commentary. Headlines read Taylor Swift shatters expectations, and a pop star breaks her silence, and the room goes quiet. Inside the studio, the audience lingers, buzzing. Strangers hug. Some cry. Everyone knows they witnessed something rare. Taylor hugs Jimmy again backstage. Sorry for hijacking your show. He smiles. That wasn't hijacking. That was history. Within hours, hashtags trend worldwide. Support pours in, from artists, fans, even former critics forced to reconsider their narratives. And somewhere, a young girl watching from her bedroom realizes strength doesn't always look like smiling through pain. It can look like honesty. It can look like a deep breath, and finally speaking. Now we want to hear from you. Did Taylor's honesty change how you see her? Do celebrities owe us perfection, or just truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this story with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Talk Flair for more explosive, emotional, and unforgettable moments from inside the spotlight.